Hi everyone, I'm Andrew. Today I would like to teach you how to find the x and the y-intercepts of the following rational function of 94 minus 2x squared, all being divided by 3x squared minus 12. So the first thing is, when you're trying to find the x and the y-intercepts, what you want to do is make sure you have everything in a fully factored form. Alright, so let's just see if we can factor some stuff here. So I can kind of factor out a 2 in this expression, right? So basically I would have something like 2, and then thinking about 94 divided by 2, that's going to be a 47, right? 47. And then minusing x squared, right? So factoring out the 2 from that is just going to leave x squared. And then this is now all being divided by, I see a common 3 down here, so I'm going to pull out a 3. So there's going to be 3 times then x squared minus 4. All right. Now what I want to do here is I want to see, when I have everything in fully factored form, I want to see if anything is going to cancel. And nothing will cancel. I know this isn't really fully factored yet. However, though, I can really tell, you know, these are both basically perfect squares. So I know I'm going to be dealing with some kind of weird perfect square on the top, but definitely not the same as the bottom. So I don't really have to continue any further. I want it in factored form enough so that I can see if anything's going to cancel. If anything, and you're going to get this down to a point where if you know nothing is going to be canceled, then you can now start to find the x and the y-intercepts. All right, but if things are going to cancel, you have to cancel, let's say these were to cancel, you want to cancel those terms first before you start investigating the x and the y-intercepts. Okay, because if you do it too early without canceling some of the terms, you might be led astray. Okay, you might be tricked, fooled into thinking that there might be more than there is. So in order to accomplish this, to do the x-intercept, what we're going to do is you're going to take your f of x and set it equal to 0, and then solve for x. Okay? So when we do this, take this function now, make f of x 0. So instead of writing f of x, write a big old 0, and that's going to equal now 2 times 47 minus x squared, all being divided by 3 times x squared minus 4. So now what you could do is you can cross multiply this, all right, to start solving for x. And when you do that, 0 times then whatever in this denominator is just going to be 0. All right, so the shortcut here, if you notice what kind of happens, is that the shortcut is when you have a rational function, all right, and you're trying to find the x-intercept, just basically take the numerator and set that equal to 0, because that's basically what we did. All right, now, and then solve this. So you would divide out the 2 from both sides, right? And that's going to be 0 is equal to now 47 minus x squared. And now you're going to try to solve this for x. Okay? So what we could do is I'll bring it over here. 0 is equal to 47 minus x squared. Bring the x squared on over to the other side, so it's now positive x squared. And then take the square root of both sides. So x is going to be equal to positive and negative radical 47. Now you can plug that into the calculator if you wanted. Right, a radical 47 is going to be a little less than 7, right? So 6.855, blah, blah, blah. All right, so that is going to be now 2 values. So we have basically 2 x-intercepts, and the x-intercept should be occurring somewhere around positive 6.8. I'm not rounding with any kind of, I'm just writing it down. Maybe if you round it, would be 6.9, but honestly, who cares? All right, but it'd be somewhere around this. So those are the x-intercepts. So now what you're going to do to find the y-intercepts is you're going to set every value of your function equal to 0 this time, and you're going to solve for now the f of x. So you're going to basically do the opposite. So take this function. Well, you could take this one that's fully factored. It doesn't really make a difference. And everywhere you see x now, plug in a 0 for it. So it's going to be 2 times 47 minus 0 squared, all over then 3 times 0 squared minus 4. And now just simplify it. So this whole thing just works out to be 47 in the middle, and that's then going to be basically 94, and that's then divided by this is 0 in here, so then that's going to be 3 times the negative 4, which is just going to be negative 12. Oh, and is that interesting that that worked out to be exactly the same as the non-x values? No, it's not. I mean, it's kind of cool, but remember, you set x equal to 0, so when that is equal to 0, these both terms just drop out, and what are you left with? You're left with the 2 non-x terms. Okay, so, and now you could basically simplify this from here if you wanted. You could leave it in fractional form. It doesn't really make a difference, but 94 divided by 12, what are we going to get? Boom, another fraction. Okay, so this is about negative 7.83. So I should expect to have a y-intercept roughly around negative 7.83. In other words, the coordinates of the y-intercept here is going to be 0, comma, negative 7.83 roughly. And my x-intercepts are going to be somewhere around 6.8, comma 0, and negative 6.8, comma 0. Okay, so these are the values. So why don't we graph the function and let's see what's going on. So go to y equals, graph the original function, just to make sure, because you might have made a math mistake along the way. So 94 minus 2x squared. Close those parentheses, then divide it by now the denominator of 3x squared minus 12. Close parentheses and hit graph. And this thing looks a little strange, so let's go to zoom normal. Let's go to zoom standard, okay? So let's see what we're working with. So here's the function, okay? Now, if you notice, the function crosses the x-axis in two places, right? It crosses it roughly right around here, and then roughly right around here. So what are those values? Well, this is negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, and negative 6 and a fraction? Yes, right? Now, from this picture, it looks like a half, but trust me, it's not. All right, that's because we're just zoomed out too far. But this would be the negative 6.8 roughly, or exactly the negative radical 47. And this would be the positive 6.8. So that's cool. And now what about the denominator? Well, what? Denominator, y-intercept. What? How is this a denominator? All right, I'm taking a break after this one. Let's see. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, and it almost looks like negative 8. But remember, we zoomed out a little far. So it's going to be negative 7.83. It's a beautiful thing. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. I do hope this video helps. And by the way, check out our channel because we have thousands of videos out there, not only in math, but chemistry and physics as well. We solve specific problems because that's what you're going to see on your test, right? So when you practice these sciences, you have to be doing practice problems. Don't spend too much time studying like your notes. You got to take the notes and apply them to problems, all right? The more practice you do with the problems, the better problem solver you will become. And guess what you're going to see on your test? Problems, all right? That's what we want to help you through. Check us out. Take care.